They're
think
there.
this is where we try and
They're there.
this is where we try and multitask.
They're there right now, mate. That's a
We've got the
really
fixtures straight
tough
away, haven't
game. That's a really tough game, bro.
we? 2 seconds, because we can't say anything till 9 o'clock. Right, it's 9 o'clock now, so technically we can announce it. If you 2 seconds, let's just double check who Newcastle have first game of the season. Newcastle's first game of the Premier League season 2019 to 2020 is, drum roll, any second. Who have we got?
I already know, bro.
We've got 17 seconds to wait, apparently, according to Sky.
Well, they're up on the
TV
Premier League
companies.
website right now, and I've
2
got them on
seconds.
the
So
screen.
just wait in 8 seconds. So
Yeah.
I can tell you that Newcastle United in the next 5 seconds. First game of the season for the 2019-20 season is going to be Arsenal
Yeah,
at home.
really hard game.
Super Sunday is being chosen for TV. Wow, Manchester United versus Chelsea is also there. I'm just going to run you through the first few fixtures. Liverpool versus Norwich is the Friday night game. Bournemouth, Sheffield United. Burnley, Southampton. Crystal Palace, Everton. Leicester versus Wolves. Tottenham versus Aston Villa. The new boys travelling to the new Tottenham Stadium. Watford, Brighton. West Ham, Manchester City. I think that'll be on BT by the look of it.
Mm-hmm.
Man United versus Chelsea. And Newcastle versus Arsenal. So Arsenal at home. First game of the season on Sky Sports as well. What a start, eh, Johnny?
Yeah, what a start. It's gonna be very, very tough. It's the first home game of the new season.
Sunday, it's the 2 o'clock kickoff.
Mm.
It's just been announced. Sunday, August the 11th at 2 o'clock will be Newcastle versus Arsenal. The other TV games, just to start them off, Liverpool versus Norwich is Friday night, August the 9th at 8 o'clock. The new boys travel to Anfield. Tottenham versus Aston Villa is August the 10th, 5:30 now on Sky Sports. They've switched with BT. BT now have the 12:30 kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just double check. They're showing Manchester City. Don't want Manchester City. I want Newcastle's fixtures. We've just obviously Arsenal. It's a tough start for Newcastle.
That's a tough start. I feel like
Man United, Chelsea, another one. That's another big one, isn't it?
I feel like the Manchester Chelsea one's another big one as well. Like,
yeah, but so those fixtures have been announced. Newcastle travel to Newcastle at home to Liverpool on the 14th of September. So again, another tough game early on.
Bro, we've got right. These are I'll do the August ones right now. So, the 11th of August. 11th of August, it's Newcastle versus Arsenal. Then on the 17th of August.
There's 1 second. My laptop's been a bit funny.
All right, are you gonna get there?
Yeah, I'm just going to see what I can try and do.
Yeah.
Who got after that? Sorry, mate.
Right, so
who got after Arsenal?
After Arsenal, we've got Norwich away on the 17th of August.
Norwich away.
Yeah.
Norwich away.
And
Newcastle have got Tottenham away for third game of the season.
Yep.
It's a tough start, Johnny, isn't it? Arsenal,
it's a
Norwich,
tough start.
and then Tottenham.
And then we've got Watford, and then Liverpool.
Wow.
So it's quite a tough start, isn't it?
It's interesting, isn't it?
It is interesting, but it's
interesting to say the least.
It is.
But yeah, I think let's just get this out in the open. You know, it's a tough start for Newcastle.
Yeah, it's a tough start.
Arsenal and Tottenham in the first 3 games. Get your comments in. Did you want 2 of the big boys straight away, or did you want maybe an easier start? Obviously, Norwich away is what was the first. It's the first away game. I'm glad that's out the way, as well.
Yeah.
Let's just have a quick look at a few. I've got a few of the other games as well. So let's obviously we've got through August. Norwich versus Newcastle on the 17th of Johnny's just mentioned.
Yeah.
24th, it's Tottenham versus Newcastle. Mm-hmm. Saturday the 31st of August, Johnny's mentioned, we've got Watford at home. Mm-hmm. And then after the international break, Liverpool away.
Yeah, that's going to be
on the 14th of September. 21st of September, it's Brighton at home.
Yep.
Which I think is like a winnable game, Johnny.
I feel like that's a winnable game too. Like.
Yeah. 28th of September.
Mm-hmm.
We're away to Leicester. Kyle will be buzzing about that. He loves Leicester. We've beaten Leicester the last 2 times there. 5th of October, home to Man United. Ooh. This is a tough start
This
for
is a tough
Newcastle.
start,
Very
isn't it?
tough start.
It is a tough
And
start.
I'm just looking at the next couple of games. In
The game
October's
after
Chelsea
that, it's
away.
Chelsea away. Oh, this is a really tough start for Newcastle.
Yeah, Chelsea away, then Wolves at home at the end of October. November we have November, West Ham away on the 2nd of November, 9th of November. We have Bournemouth at home.
My birth
And then there's
month.
Aston Villa away at the end of November, the 23rd of November.
Yeah.
As well. And then we Saturday the 30th of November, Manchester City at home.
That's 2 days after my birthday, bro. I hope we win.
Well, happy birthday, Johnny, on the 23rd or the 28th of November.
28th of November.
On the 30th of November. Tuesday the 3rd of December, the first midweek game, Newcastle are away to Sheffield United, so not a Saturday game, unfortunately, for that one. The 7th of December, we're at home to Southampton. Mm-hmm. The 14th, away to Burnley on Saturday the 14th. That'll be good. Saturday game. Probably only going to do Monday night, but at the minute it's a Saturday game. 21st of December, it's Crystal Palace at home just before Christmas. Boxing Day. Man United away.
Way.
Didn't want that.
It's not going to be a nice Christmas for us, is it?
Day.
It's not going to be a nice Christmas for us.
It never is it?
No.
Man United away on Boxing Day.
I know. Tell me about it. Go on. Tell me a little bit about
Christmas time.
Tell me a little bit about
Everton
the Christmas
at home.
times.
Yeah, Everton at home 2 days after. And then on New Year's Day, we've got Leicester at home. So after that, it's not too bad, but Boxing Day, we've got to play them. Man United, I don't want that. Just looking after the Christmas period, we've got Wolves after the FA Cup, and then we've got Chelsea. And then it's Everton away on the January the 21st. Norwich at home on the 1st of February. This is where the winter break is a little bit different. So a few games are going to get played on the 8th, and a few games are going to get played on the 15th, and it hasn't been announced yet. But Newcastle are away to Arsenal, so it's like the roles reversal of the first game of the season. I'm just going to go right to the end of the season. Who have Newcastle got at the end of the season? Oh, on my birthday, who have we got my birthday on the 2nd of May? Tottenham at home.
Tottenham at home.
That's not too bad, is it? Who have we got last game of the season?
We've got
home to Liverpool. Home to Liverpool. And the last game of the season, we need to be safe by then.
Do you know what's funny? It was the last home game as well, bro.
Oh, no.
The last home game, and it's going to be the last home game of the season.
Oh, dear me.
So that's going to be another hard one, isn't it?
Oh, my God. So there's a full recap for you guys.
Yeah.
Newcastle, well, it's a very, very difficult start. Arsenal at home at St James's. Then it's followed by Norwich, and then Tottenham. And just before the... I'll just go back on the start of August. Who we got after that? I think it was Tottenham, and then we've got Watford. So yeah, I think it's a very, very tough start for Newcastle. I think it's probably some of the worst games, to be honest, for Newcastle. Arsenal at home and no mugs. Yes, they're not as fearful as they used to be, Arsenal, but it's still a very, very tough game. And then the next game's Norwich away, and again, I don't think we really didn't want Norwich to be the first game of the season. First home game of the season for the newly promoted side. So Norwich, they'll be well up for that game. And then Tottenham away, that'll be a game that a lot of fans will want to go and see.
Yeah.
So that'll be tough to get tickets for. Yeah. Well, John, let's get your reaction to the game. To the games: Arsenal, Norwich, Tottenham, Watford, and then we've got to play Manchester. I think is it Manchester United after that?
After Watford,
Liverpool away. Liverpool away again. Another tough game.
See, I feel like that start of the season is very tough. Like, yeah, we've got newly promoted Norwich, which I didn't really want to see them until like the 8th game in, to be quite honest with you. Because I wanted to see how Norwich would do, because with Tim Krul being there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you've made an interesting point there. Tim Krul against his old club, he'd have been looking for this fixture, and it's the second fixture out.
Yeah, so like I wanted to kind of see that like the 8th game in, but I feel like as a look at it, it's not really as bad as last year, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But really tough games like Arsenal, Spurs, like these are names that I didn't want to say. These are names that I didn't want to say right now. Arsenal, Spurs, Liverpool, then it's just 3 teams that are really hard to play against.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head. It's very, very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And let's have a look at some of the comments. Not as bad as last year, possibly so. Like last year, we had the likes of Tottenham, then we had Cardiff away. So similar to the Norwich and the Cardiff one. Then it was Chelsea, and then Manchester City. We don't play Manchester City till November. I think it was October, November time. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, it's a bit better for us, but. Mm-hmm. For me, it's very, very difficult for Newcastle. I think you've got this. I can't speak at the minute. Reiterates anything. We need to get the manager signed up. We need to get the team needs. If there's takeover happening, this is a bit of a.
This is when we need
not
to
panic,
know.
But we need to kind of get things going at a more quicker pace. Difficult.
The way these games are coming out now. We need this takeover to be kind of announced in the next 2 weeks. I reckon.
100%.
If we get this takeover in the next 2 weeks, I feel like we'll have a chance to kind of like buy some players in, because we need to start buying, because all the other clubs have started. So we need to start getting in there and buying, because right now we're looking at the same as last year. Do you know what I mean? In a way.
So like Liverpool. After Liverpool, I'm just going to double check trying to remember who Newcastle have got. Obviously Liverpool, and then it's Brighton, and then after Brighton it's Leicester. So September's a bit after Liverpool. It's a bit easier. We've got Brighton at home and Leicester away. We have a good record against Leicester. It's still going to be a tough game, but again, 2 winnable games. And in October we've got Man United, which is going to be a tough game. But
tough game.
Again, it's. Do you play these big? Do you like to play with big boys early?
See, I would much rather have them in the middle.
We've got no choice now, no, have we?
We've got no choice now, but I would much rather have them in the middle of the season, because, in a way, we kind of get a run of forms at the beginning of the season, and then we start building up confidence to be able to play against the big bad boys. You know what I mean?
Big bad boys, yeah.
So it's like,
just for people that just joined the stream now, Liverpool versus Norwich is the Friday night game on Sky Sports. Saturday, 12:30 on BT's West Ham Man City, and then you've got Bournemouth, Sheffield United, Burnley, Southampton, Crystal Palace versus Everton. That'll be a good game.
Yeah.
Leicester, Wolves, another good game, and Watford, Brighton, same as last year, and then Spurs, Aston Villa is the 5:30 kickoff on Sky Sports, and then Newcastle versus Arsenal, 2:00 kickoff on Super Sunday, and that's followed by Manchester United versus Chelsea. Johnny, Boxing Day away at Man United. Christmas period's always interesting. I always like to be home on Boxing Day. It just means that Sunderland are going to be at home on Boxing Day this year.
I would much rather be
I'd have liked to still be at home.
But saying that, it's only 3 hours down to Manchester on a train if you do go to Manchester to watch it.
Well, you kind of do that on Boxing Day.
It's
on Boxing Day you kind of do it.
Yeah, so it's like, it's one of them games that not many fans are wanting to go to, but obviously I still think Newcastle will probably sell out, but Newcastle will sell out, always do. But it's like people will be thinking, do we really want to go down to see Manchester United beat Newcastle on a Boxing Day?
Who knows?
We might win them.
Who knows? You never know. Never know.
It's a 50-50 right now, because we don't know how we're going to start the season. The main few, right, if we've got Jose Perez, Almiron and Rondon up front, I'm quite confident we'll get something out of these games. Do you know what I mean? I would take a draw against Arsenal on the first day. I would take a draw against Arsenal on the first day, and then I would take a 1-0, 2-0 win against Norwich. But it's going to be a hard game. Do you know what I mean?
Massively. I'm just going to go through the last few games of the season. What Newcastle's running is going to be like from now to the end of the season. So 21st of March, Newcastle at home to Aston Villa. Mm-hmm. On the 4th of April, Newcastle away to Bournemouth. The 11th of April, Newcastle at home to West Ham. So the games are comfortable at the minute. I'll be honest, I haven't really seen all the games properly yet. 18th of April away to Manchester City. I speak too soon, Johnny.
Yeah.
See, not very good. 25th of April, Newcastle are away to Watford. 2nd of May, home to Spurs. 9th of May away to Brighton. and then on the final day of the season, Newcastle are at home to Liverpool. So again, a mixed bag, but Man City and Liverpool in the last 4 or 5 games, it's going to be tough.
If we're fighting a relegation battle at the end of that season, at the end of next season, it's going to be horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit, just a little bit.
Obviously, I'm quite confident we'll not be fighting relegation. Like, I feel like.
Are you confident about that? Are you?
My prediction for us next season is 15th.
15th.
Mm-hmm.
Is that with the fact that might have a new owner?
On the thingy that we're on now, yeah. You see, say Ashley stays and Rafa stays, which is probably not going to happen. but say that is the way it is now. I feel like if takeover happens, I feel like we'll be 10th, because I feel like you'll start spending in January. Do you know what I mean? Like you'll buy a few players. Like, say if this takeover comes through now, you'll buy a few players that would desperately need this transfer window, and then when it comes to January, you'll buy like experienced, like expensive players. That's what I feel in that sort of aspect. But like, I feel like if we keep the squad we've got now, it's gonna be like 15th. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what I feel. But I'm optimistic to seeing that this takeover goes through. We'll finish either 11th or 10th.
Get your predictions about the Arsenal game. I think it's a good tester, regardless if there's a takeover or not. Because if Newcastle do get taken over and we do spend a little bit of money, Arsenal will not want to come to St James's. However, if we don't, I think they're still beatable. If I'm being brutally honest, if we go right to the start of this, obviously start of the season, you can see on your screen, it is Arsenal, it is Norwich, it is Tottenham, and it is Watford, and then after that, it is Liverpool as well. But yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting the first few games of the season. Let's have a look at some of your predictions. 10th position would be a good position to build on, says Ning Azuko, 2-1 to the Toon. Max Kiev, I'm from the Flores Islands of Indonesian. Newcastle fans, the Magpies are the best. Thank you very much. Darth Penguin, shafted by the Premier League again. Random my arse. I think sometimes it can be random. But it's going to be tough. Like it's going to be tough, regardless. There's no mugs now.
If they start spending
in the Premier
money,
League, and that's you've mentioned. If we start spending a bit of money, we're going to be a tough force. But it's just whether that's going to happen. So we'll just have to wait and see. But
it's quite a hard start of the season, though. What's your thoughts, in general?
I think for me personally, we would have. I think if we had 6 teams that we were expected to get points from the start, like say Brighton, Burnley, Bournemouth, Southampton, those teams to start the season, and we didn't get any points, we'd be going at these games going, well, where we're going to pick the points from. Yeah. Whereas now, it's okay. We can kind of go, well, we've got a bit of a mixed bag, especially like Norwich and Watford are in the middle of Arsenal and Tottenham, so we have got some tough games, but not the worst set of fixtures. It's definitely not as bad as last year. I think looking at the games last year, I think it took us till October or November to win a game. Yeah. So that tells you, I don't think that'll be the case this year. I think we'll definitely win a game before that.
I feel like if we get beat off Arsenal, I feel like we'll get a win against Norwich. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's hard to say because you don't know if Norwich are going to spend much. Do you know what I mean?
I think they will, but I just don't think it'll be the quality that they've got. Is it good enough? But then again, they've got some very good young players.
See, the next winnable game after Norwich is probably Brighton away. I mean Brighton at home. Sorry. That's the next winnable game.
But Watford at home's a winnable game for me.
You've got a point there because Watford at home. I think that is a winnable game if you think outside of the box. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that is a winnable game, but the next winnable game after that is Brighton, because you never know. We could turn around and we could beat the likes of Spurs, Liverpool start of the season if we start spending money. Do you know what I mean? But you don't know until that takeover goes through, or if Mike Ashley's still there at the start of the season. That's the
$1 million question, Johnny, isn't it?
Yep. What's people's comments on the start of the season?
I was going to have a little look. I don't think it matters if Norwich spend a large amount of money. Look at Fulham, very, very good point. Fulham spent, I think, nearly £100 million and are in the Championship next season. So it again, I think it's about spending your money wisely, which again I think is an interesting one. I think as well, though, I know it's a bit petty, but you're going to play these teams twice a season anyway. Once at home, once away, so it doesn't really matter. But I think again, like Arsenal, Norwich, Tottenham, Watford, Liverpool, Brighton. I'm thinking from the first 6, we've got 3 winnable games, and we've got 3 of the top 6 from last year. So if you look at it from that point of view, we've only got to play 3 of the other teams before Boxing Day. So it doesn't look like 3 of the big boys before Boxing Day, so it doesn't look as bad. So, but it's a very, I think it's a good tester for Newcastle. Lee's going to be doing a video, I think, tonight in more detail about the fixtures, obviously, where ours is just a live reaction as well. I think this is where we're going to end the stream. My thanks to Johnny. Yeah, first video. Well done. You've done really well.
It's been good.
It's been very good, yeah. So, obviously, Newcastle have Arsenal at home. First game of the season. It's live on Sky Sports as well. Sunday, 2 o'clock kickoff. That's the new kickoff times, I should say, for Sky Sports. 2 o'clock. And 4:30 for Super Sunday, not 1:30 and 4 o'clock, just for future games if you're from international as well, just a slight difference as well. But yeah, Arsenal at home, it's the first game of the season. I can imagine Norwich might get moved, Tottenham will probably get moved as well. I don't think Watford will, Liverpool definitely will, and I don't think Brighton will. That's the first 6 games. That's for TV fixtures, I think. We'll probably have the first 3, maybe even the first 4 fixtures out of 5 that'll be on TV. My thanks to Johnny. Thank you for watching the live reaction for the 2019-20 Premier League fixtures. Hopefully Newcastle gets sold. Hopefully Rafa Benitez is still the manager, and hopefully we can get a win against Arsenal first game of the season. Thanks very much. Ta-da.